Seventh grade students at Whitewater Middle School participated over a period of approximately 8 working weeks on an authentic, real-world, project-based, problem-based learning experience called Project Code Blue, a unique and challenging dramatization activity where students take on the roles of doctors and patients as they work together to diagnose real medical conditions. The focus of Project Code Blue was to show students the real-world application of learning how the organ systems of the body interact. In addition, students were expected to meet literacy standards for science that are critical to the construction of an argument. ISTE standards for students were also met throughout the project. Essential questions helped to guide the project, keep students progressing, and to make sure that students did not lose sight of the learning that should be taking place. Before students could attempt to diagnose any illness, they had to learn about the organ systems. I chose to use a flipped classroom model to teach about the organ systems, requiring students to watch a series of Discovery Education videos and then complete activities associated with the videos. Students used Blackboard, our classroom management system, to access the Discovery Education video series and assignments. Assignments were set up on adaptive release so that students could not view the assignments until they watched the video. Students were required to complete all 7 activities and had the option to complete 2 additional body system videos and activities on the endocrine and reproductive systems if they finished early. Upon completion of the Discovery Education series, students were permitted to begin taking their medical board exams. Medical board exams were set up on adaptive release as well. The adaptive release was set for successive board exams to release only after the minimum cut score was achieved on the current exam. I began with a minimum required score of 80 in all classes and made adjustments as needed to accommodate progress. When students successfully completed all 4 medical board exams, they were able to begin their residency in hospital rotations. Doctors followed the schedule seen here each week. Doctor teams changed on a weekly basis. Patients had a similar week, but spent the 3rd and 4th days of the week in patient support groups attempting to self-diagnose their problems. Patients also changed weekly. The appointment schedule seen here guaranteed that all doctors in the 7th grade hall from all science classes were able to see each patient they needed to see each week. Teachers waited in doorways or the hall to check in doctor teams and monitor behavior. One doctor team seen here is waiting patiently while another is actively meeting with a patient. Some students chose to fill out paper patient forms while some did opt to use their Chromebooks, especially students with assistive technology accommodations that have difficulty with paper-pencil note-taking. Here you can see the patient history form and a sample patient profile. The aptly named Project Code Blue website was created by me for this project and accessed through Blackboard using an external hyperlink. The medical research page of the website included 30 diseases that could be diagnosed throughout the project. Only 24 were actually used. Some diseases and disorders had very similar symptoms, making it necessary for students to conduct more research into the recent activities and medical histories of the patient in order to obtain the evidence necessary to justify their claim. Students were required to use the claim evidence reasoning model for argumentative writing. Students are seen here working together using Google Slides to communicate and collaborate. Hospital board presentations were given every Friday. The image seen here is a look at a portion of the rubric used for grading, which also doubled as a checklist. At the end of the residency phase, which lasted 4 weeks, all students were required to complete a medical diagnosis log. Students helped each other complete logs by sharing presentations, but the final diagnosis log was an independent activity. The idea was to have students consider a second opinion, which is another real-world evaluative thinking element. Gifted students were also tasked with putting their final presentations on a class wiki so that everyone could see the final week presentations. Next year, all classes will upload final presentations to a class wiki so that they have a concentrated access point for their medical logs. Though I would count the project as widely successful and highly engaging, there were challenges along the way and we learned from mistakes. Students struggled with the claim evidence reasoning model despite having learned argumentative writing in English language arts classes prior to the project. More opportunities may be necessary in science classes to help students effectively use the model. Student dynamics, hallway behaviors, and time management concerns affected a very small percentage of students, but we will need to consider how to help these students before future implementation. Classroom wikis and journals instead of a diagnosis log, both available through Blackboard, will be used in future administrations of this project. I hope you have enjoyed hearing about Project Code Blue. Thank you for watching.